in terms of my rituals to continue to feed my spirit, to keep me strong. I get inspired by all of you and how you all show up for yourselves and your business. I just love the way that you all represent. So, with that being stated, I want to recognize each and every one of you, Merle, and is it Dorette? I think I'm saying that correctly. Shatita, congratulations to you for your It Takes Two promotion. Sabina, always just fully sleeves always rolled up, always working and digging in the trenches. Glynis, I see you doing what you do. Melanie, Terrence, constantly digging for more, just wanting to get better. I'm not familiar with Gugu, if I'm saying that correctly, but I look forward to getting to know who you are. And Shenny, Miss Oria, always hustling, always making moves. Helen, Curti, Helen, Curti, I want to get to know you all. Michelle, you've been doing your thing. Sandra Thomas, always phenomenal energy, always just you're the Energizer Bunny for sure. You and Shatita are like neck and neck for the Energizer Bunnies, always out here making things happen. I don't know who Def Cordoba is. I don't know who that is, but welcome. Allison, I look forward to getting to know more about you, and Sharon as well. Jennifer, we are definitely sending love to you and your family. Unfortunately, both of her parents are, dealing with COVID-19 and working on recovery from that. So we're definitely sending you lots of love and prayer and support. And anybody else here that I may not know about, if you have family members, we're definitely, praying for you as well. And if you want additional prayer, you can let us know. If you have a family member and you want us to pray for them, we certainly will. Letty, I appreciate you. It was really good meeting you and face to face and just getting to know you a little bit in Houston. And, I see you continuously showing up for your business. Mike, thanks for the message and sharing with me, what it is that you want to do. Keenan as well. Kelly, look forward to getting to know you. Lady L, always the consummate professional, always positive, always leading by example. Congratulations to you on your It Takes Two achievement this past week. Again, just leading by example, setting the tone. Judy Reyes, I know you're like, I'm working on it. I want to be better. I appreciate your commitment. Let's see. Darren, I don't know you. Look forward to getting to know you. Larisha, you and I, we go back, and I got a chance to really watch you create some massive success in one of your earlier business ventures. It was really awesome to work with you and spend some time with you in South Africa, training together, and then seeing you now take the reins and being the first person in South Africa to plant the flag and take on the responsibility of leadership under difficult circumstances. You're in an area that doesn't really, it's untouched. So to watch what's taken place just from you saying, yes, I'm going to do it, and how that one decision has opened up the floodgates of leader after leader coming into your organization and proving themselves and showing themselves approved. But it all started with you. So I want to definitely recognize you for how you show up every day. Noni, look forward to getting to know you. And Denise, Natalia, you called me, reached out a couple days ago and just wanting to step up your game. So again, this is it's a journey for all of us, and I just want to honor that. Melanie Smith, I hadn't heard from you. You were kind of quiet for the last several weeks, and then all of a sudden, you're like texting me. I just placed somebody in the system. I don't know if I placed them in the right spot, because you just made a decision to get re-engaged again, and you went back to work. And I love getting messages like that. Timby, how you doing? It's good to see you. I know that you sacrificed in order to get started. And I pray that you're putting in the work to honor the sacrifice that you made in order to take advantage of this. I haven't worked with you personally yet, but I look forward to learning more of your story. Nalana, I don't know you. I look forward to getting to know you. Annabelle, Monica Castillo, I know that you're working through that process of living up to your capacity, and that's, sometimes it's hard, but I know that you're showing up each day. I know that you're doing the internal work that's required to get there. Need to. You're in constant communication, which I appreciate, kind of giving me a glimpse into the things that you have to juggle. But your enthusiasm for the business and just your energy, you're positive, but you're also transparent about where you're at, which I appreciate as well. I know you're digging and on a mission. Angela, look forward to learning more about you. Simbangali, look forward to learning more about you. Cynthia, Pearl, Zan, Fever Plush, Kristen Cruz. Again, we've had a great friendship over the years, and I'm really happy that you're a part of this journey and you've made a commitment for yourself and your family to really step it up. Denise Askevold, I look forward to learning you as well. Anyone else that I didn't mention, because people are still jumping on, but I just wanted to start off by just recognizing each of you, because this is a personal journey as much as it is a team journey, and we cannot do anything without each other. Like we can't hit ranks. Some of us, and I know I can speak for Larisha on this because I know her. I'll speak for myself. I'll speak for Aurea. I know she has these tendencies. Sometimes you're accustomed to making stuff happen on your own. Sometimes as a leader, you're accustomed to people not being reliable. So you're just like, whatever, I'll get it done myself. If I have to put in 1,000 people personally, then I'll just go put in 1,000 people personally. And that's not the nature of our business. But if you have such a stubborn mentality, sometimes you can just take it upon yourself and say, I'm going to figure this out. And when you do that, you might cut off access. You might cut off access to other relationships and synergy that you can create, where you can help other people win, and in doing so, you can also achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Erica Lee, I see you came on late. You're another person that I want to congratulate too, just because you're another one of those people that's consistently, showing up with the right attitude. And even though you may not be where you want to be, you're always positively moving in that direction. And when you put your mind to something, forget it. It's a wrap. Like, it's a done deal. So if you have the Lone Ranger syndrome, then you will automatically and instinctually not focus on some of the very people that are right there in front of you that can help you to achieve your goals when you help them achieve theirs. So it's important for us to kind of check in and remind ourselves, am I really reaching out and having the crucial conversations that are required in order to bring everybody up? A rising tide lifts all boats, right? So having those conversations are important. And the reason the conversation is important is because it's not about you making other people do stuff. You have no control over what someone's going to do. But having the conversation in a manner that says, listen, where are you at in your life right now? Like, what is it that you really want? And what are you willing to do? What price are you willing to pay to get that? And the price is going to be steep. but I am in this with you, and I will pay that price with you because I want it just as bad as you do, if not more. And identifying, again, that's the key word, identifying who's who in this journey that we're all in, so that we can support each other, we can match each other, and we can push each other to those different levels. I think all of you will agree that we've seen some great stories that have revealed themselves over the last month. We've seen some tremendous accomplishments and record-breaking ranks and all of that, just to demonstrate what's possible. So I'm just looking at the chats here. I want to make sure that I'm able to address everyone that's spoken here. I want to welcome, we have some new people here too, so I want to welcome any of you that are new, that I haven't had a chance to really spend any time with yet. I think you all can understand that the way that we do move fast, and there's a lot of people that are coming into our organization, so I can't obviously, talk to every single person, but it doesn't mean that I'm not available. Even if I don't care who it is, how new you are, you can always reach out to me. If you don't have my number, you can message me. I check my social media every day, and I have conversations there every day. So just want you all to be clear that even if, and this is for all leaders, sometimes you might have leadership, and just because you don't hear from them doesn't mean you don't have access. That's the best way to say it. Just because you don't hear from a leader doesn't mean that you don't have access. You have to take it upon yourself to reach out, and you reach out until, that's the operative word, until you get a response. Sometimes I need to hear from you a couple times, like Natalia, she was wanting me to do a call after this one, and I just forgot about it because I have so many calls that I've scheduled for today. And so I needed to be reminded, oh yeah, we have a call tomorrow. So, part of it is me teaching her how to do that. Like if I'm setting up a call with a leader, then I got to take the onus and make sure I'm sending them reminder texts. And you're not bothering me, you're not pestering me with that. That's just part of what's required, right? So that's a part of this process too. Okay, good. New people here. Great. So I wanted to talk to you. I want to introduce you all, first of all, to some brand new rubies and sapphires and emeralds. So let me bring on our first guest, who is a brand new ruby and eye boomerang. She is a successful business owner and had taken a break from the profession of network marketing. And then, after years and years, she decided to come back into the space. And I was really, excited, because when she first came into the business, I didn't know her, and I'd only heard about her. I heard about her energy. And then having some conversations with her, I learned that she's a red, meaning she's very driven. She's supremely confident. And once she's on a track, like, just get the hell out of the way. So she was building just because of her energy and her influence. Like, I don't even know if she was actually doing full-fledged presentations. I just know that she was getting it done. She's very results oriented. So I want to bring on very quickly our newest ruby, Sandra Thomas. Sandra hails out of South Africa, and I want y'all to understand this conversation that we're having. This is we're doing some futuring, okay? So just stay with me on this. This is called a futuring conversation. I invite all of you to participate in my vision, okay? I just want you to just participate in my vision. So Ruby Sandra Thomas, I would love just to pick your brain for a little bit. Do you have a couple of minutes?
Yes, of course.
Fantastic. So what made you say, yes, I want to be involved in this opportunity? Because you were already running successful businesses, and you didn't have to do this. So why did you decide to come out of quote unquote network marketing retirement and say yes to this company and this opportunity?
Well, I think it was the person that showed it to me. It was Neetu. I don't think I would have gone to Neetu and had coffee with anyone else if they were trying to show me a business at that time, but it was because it was Neetu that showed it to me. And we've got a history together. And I was definitely open to looking. I wasn't happy where I was in my business. So I was definitely open to looking at something else.
So timing was big, correct?
Yes. Timing was big.
Now,
I've seen through the lockdown too, that timing, a lot of people that I've shown this business to before that have said no are now saying, let me do this thing. So definitely timing is key.
So when you look at when you got started, did Neetu sit down with you and explain to you how to properly invite, how to do the presentation? Did she break down the compensation plan so you could explain it to other people? Like, how did you get started?
Hell freaking no. I still don't understand the compensation plan. I mean, Neetu was trying to explain the business to me on her laptop. And I remember I closed her laptop and I said, just tell me what it's about. And she did. And I still don't understand the compensation plan. Somebody in my group asked me 2 days ago what CV stands for. I said, I have no clue. I actually asked my husband. I don't know. I now know it's commissionable volume, but I had no clue what it stood for because it doesn't interest me. I'm just building.
So what are you building with? If you don't know everything that's happening in the company, what would you say you're building with?
I'm building with passion, with conviction, with absolute certainty, and with huge posture. So nobody is under any illusion that I'm going to do this thing with or without them. So I've just got drive and passion, and I think people are drawn to the fact that what if this chick is right? What if she's right and I don't get in, you know? But certainly I don't know everything there is to know about the business. I just know that you can make money and we're having fun and you can do this too.
Thank you for that. That's such it's a very simple thing that you're saying in terms of the energy and the excitement and the passion. And that's something that any human being can relate to, because you said it was because of the person who showed it to you that was the biggest weighing factor. And then you got off to the races and you got started. This is why we emphasize with each of you the importance of literally going through your phone and calling every single person in your phone to share it with them, because you don't know where somebody's at in their life. So thank you, Ruby Sandra Thomas, for sharing that. Let me jump over to Sapphire, newly minted Sapphire, Miss Letty, also hailing out of South Africa. Letty, do you have a couple of minutes?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. So talk about what was happening in your life at the time you said yes, and why you made a commitment to build this business.
So yes, I'm homeschooling my two boys, and as a family, we want to buy a yacht and we want to sail around the world. So obviously, we were looking for something that we can build online, something that we can build wherever it is that we actually are. And, still get an income, whether you're on an island somewhere or whatever the case might be. So Larisha actually called me up and she just said to me that she just saw something on Facebook and that I needed to have a look at the other side video. And I just thought to myself, if I can literally build a business with a video like that, it just made sense to me. So I obviously jumped on board immediately.
And since you've gotten started, what's been the driving force that keeps you on track, that keeps you doing the income producing activities every day in order to produce the results that have gotten you to Sapphire? What's been that driving engine for you?
So I'm the type of person that likes to have a list and to be able to tick it. So I mean, when we started out last year, early on you gave us those daily methods of operations, and just doing that every day with the reading and the writing and ticking that box every day by doing what I'm supposed to do and just sticking, you know, to that actually helps me a lot.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. That's good stuff. I want to thank you, Letty. I want to jump over to newest executive director, Miss Erica Lee out of Omaha, Nebraska. Something happened last week where you didn't have the level of production that you wanted, but you still enrolled a first class pack into your business and organization. So talk to us about, you know, why you said yes to iBoomerang, and talk to us about what shifted in you that even though you didn't have the level of activity, you still had very good results.
Hi, Ed. Thank you. You know, first of all, when I signed up in iBoomerang, what caught my attention was, first of all, just the desire of Mr. Bugs to create something different in the network marketing industry that could allow any type of person that was willing to plug in and do the work to have success. So that really caught my attention. And for me, as much as I'm really excited to create this in my own life because I believe I deserve this, I'm also so big on just helping other people get the same thing in their life. So that's what caught my attention when I first signed up. Now, one thing that I really was working on coming into this was mindset. And moving kind of into the new year 2020, I really, 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 with your mentorship and so many other people's mentorship, was just telling myself, you know what, I can do this regardless of what's going on. I can do this. And mentally, you told us, write it out on a note card, put it up all around your room, wherever you are, in your house, in your car, whatever you're doing, write out your vision. And in so many words, I wrote it out and I was declaring it. So let's fast forward. The past couple of weeks, it was very challenging. I was making a ton of calls. Nobody was answering. And the calls that were answered, a lot of people agreed, okay, yep, I'll get on, I'll watch this presentation. A lot of people wouldn't show up. So suddenly, going from a week where I had a lot of exposures, it dropped. Initially, my mindset started to shift. And then I had to remember, listen, this really is about mindset. And I told myself, Erica, if you don't allow yourself to take yourself out, you can do this. So when my production, as far as exposures, dropped, mentally, I kept saying, I got this, I can do this. And I kept looking at my note card, which everywhere was posted, I'm so happy and grateful now to be a senior director, 5,000 in volume, and specifically when. So in my mind, and I had the date down. So in my mind, I kept saying, well, we have 2 days left and this is going to happen. There is no excuse, no alternative. Just keep pushing, just keep calling, just keep reaching out and watch what happens. And literally in, like, you could say the 12th hour, it happened. And it was just a reminder to me of the training that you've given us so many times, Ed, mindset, and what we set our sights on, how we cast our vision, where our belief is, that even when you feel like you are like the bottom of the totem pole and not making much progress, then at the very last minute, things shifted. And when that rank was hit, it was just, for me, it was just, you know, a little special confirmation of, wow. And I shared with Ed, wow, this is the first time in a very long time that writing it out and just every day waking up, looking at it, declaring it, speaking it, believing it, and going on with my day, and the same thing at night, that goal actually happened.
Good. It's really good. It's easy to take it for granted when we don't do it as it pertains to our business. If we do it in our lives all the time, we do it without even thinking about it. Let me talk to Miss L, who's our newest Ruby in the house. Lady L, you've had some exposure to the network marketing profession. It wasn't your first rodeo, so to speak, but this was the first time that you're very much similar to, or you remind me of Martha's story in terms of not having, any real success in your prior experiences, but then for whatever reason, this was something that you took a hold of, you saw it immediately, you just hit the ground running. So talk to us a little bit about your process in creating not just success for yourself, but helping other team members hit ranks as well.
Ed, thank you so much. I am so happy and grateful to hit Ruby right now, but I know it's just a little stop and I'm going to go forward with it. Yes, as you have said, exactly right. I feel like those two companies that I was part of before gave me a great foundational knowledge to continue. And I hit some results, some ranks in the previous company, but this company really resonated, and I'm forever grateful to you for calling me, of course, and sharing this with me on that day, because otherwise I wouldn't know. But I think this company I really has my heart in terms of letting other people who never had successes and showing, and we had just had a team call this morning actually. I think that iBoomerang has such an amazing, and that's why we're so different, to show other people who are not from the industry at all, organic growth, right? Just like Martha had and everybody else, and letting other people know that this is where you can achieve true success, and breaking all those preconceived notions about the industry or wrong assumptions about the industry or whatever. And my goal is to bring as many organic new people to my team. Actually, I have a mix of different people in my team, but I do want to show people who never had successes before, to take them to this journey and show them then that this is possible. That's my mission, as well as bringing a lot more leaders with me, a lot more people, and developing and hitting ranks with me as well.
Well, your vision is definitely playing out, and it's definitely an honor to be in the trenches with you as well. So one of the things that I put into our chat were the templates for recognition. So one of the most important things that you all are going to do is you will simply put your picture into the template of your next goal, and you're going to print that out and you're going to put it all over where you can see it. But I wanted to share with you all the secret weapon behind the creation of those templates. She has been obviously my right and left hand throughout this entire process, but this is her genius and creation, Miss Nadia. So I want to give proper credit where credit is due. All of that dynamic, and like that was her. She hours working on that.
Nadia. So, those are beautiful, Nadia. Those are beautiful.
Those are amazing.
Guys. So it's important for you all to take advantage of that, so that you can really embrace
Thank you,
it.
Nadia. Thank you very much.
And when you see the energy in this group and the congratulations in this group, by the way, if actually Sabina, because Sabina is like our marketing guru. Sabina, can you get some good pictures of this Zoom for me, please? I would really appreciate that for marketing. I've told you all, it's very important to market everything that you do, promote everything that you do. But if you look at the energy that's coming from this group right now, as all of us are living in our future, it's important to live in that space every single day. If you try to move forward, and you're like, some of you might have challenges because you're stuck in parts of your past. Some of you are hung up on what you haven't done, what you've never done, the type of income that you've never made. You're so wrapped up in that shitty story that it is blocking you from creating a great story. You can't move forward if you're looking back at your past. You have to move forward towards what you see. Now, when you are looking at something and you're going toward that something, it's impossible to go toward that something by moving backwards. It's impossible. Can't do it. So when you have the vision and you're clear on what that is, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes are always forward. You don't do this. When you're walking, you don't walk backwards, bless you. You walk forwards. You don't walk backwards. Nobody walks backwards. That's the power of your vision. And so now you have this supreme focus on that outcome. If you are defined by your current circumstances, that's also problematic. If you get into the car and you have your destination, you've put the success destination in your GPS, and you turn the car on, but you don't go anywhere because you're trapped in your current circumstances. You think that the type of car you're driving, the area that you live in, your current bank balance, your current binary report in terms of your organization, you're looking at your volume numbers, you're looking at your current rank or lack thereof, and you are defining yourself by your current circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't work either. I can get in the car and turn it on and just be looking around like, man, I don't want to be here, but I'm not putting the car in drive and I'm not going forward. I'm just looking around like, man, this sucks. This is what people do. They get overwhelmed by their current circumstances. Some of you have come across people that have said things like, well, I'll wait until this passes. Well, how do you know how long that's going to be? You're going to wait until it passes. So you're waiting on success. Well, success doesn't come to those who wait. Success comes to those who hustle. I'm looking for people who have vision. I'm looking for people that can see beyond their past and their current circumstances. You ain't who I'm looking for. On to the next one, right? So it's about moving and living in the future. It's about understanding the clarity of that success destination that you put into your GPS, and then every move you make is to the outcome. It doesn't mean that there won't be detours. Sometimes when you go to the GPS and you're going somewhere, there's a detour. You don't freak out about it. You don't say oh, well, I'm not going. I got to take another right and go a mile around. I'm not going. It's over. No, you don't do that. What do? You adjust. You adjust, but your outcome doesn't change. You just make the adjustment and you keep it moving. Even if it takes you out of your way and you got to go the long way around to get to your final destination. I wanted to share something with you, and correct me if I'm wrong. I believe, is this the last book that I put into the group, any of the groups that we're in? Those of you that are in the building groups, isn't this the last book that I put in? Okay, great.
Yes.
So let me go through this, just the first two chapters, okay? Just stay with me on the first two chapters. Now, let me preface this. This is not a Bible class, and I'm not here to promote any particular religion. I just want you to look at what I'm saying and understand the power and potency of what I'm saying, regardless of your belief. If you believe in God, Yahweh, Allah, Jehovah, whatever it is, I'm cool with it. If you don't, that's fine too. But just take the principle of what I'm saying, okay? Not what I'm saying, what I'm reading. This is not my book. This is Mark Batterson, In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day. So God turned what could have been considered a bad break into a big break. A lot of people looked at the pandemic and they said, man, what can I do? Well, guess what happened during the pandemic? A blue diamond was popped. Black diamond was popped. Multiple diamonds were popped. Multiple emeralds were popped. Multiple rubies were popped. Multiple sapphires were popped. God turned what could have been considered a bad break into a big break. God is in the resume building business. He's always using past experiences to prepare us for future opportunities. We can cower in fear and run away from our greatest challenges, or we can chase our God-ordained destiny by seizing the God-ordained opportunity. The greatest opportunities were the scariest lions. Part of me has wanted to play it safe, but I've learned that taking no risks is the greatest risk of all. There are some people who look at the gloom and doom, they get overwhelmed by that. And then there are other people that look at the exact same scenario and they're chasing the lion. They're getting after it. That's the difference between you ranking up to the next rank and the rank after that. That's the difference between you giving yourself a pay raise every single week. It's the mentality. It's all what's happening up here. The rest of it is semantics. You can invite anybody and do a presentation for anybody. It's what's showing up behind it. So do the best you can with what you have where you are. You're making the most of every opportunity. Success equals stewardship. Stewardship equals success. What sets lion chasers apart isn't the outcome. It's the courage to chase God-sized dreams. Lion chasers don't let their fears or doubts keep them from doing what God has called them to do. There's an opportunity here for all of us to expand in our size, in our vision, in our belief. These are the intangibles that we have the opportunity to pass on to those new people that we're developing, those new people that we're bringing into our business, those new people that we're helping to achieve their goals. It has to start with you. If you're not doing it, then don't expect anyone else to want to plug in to what it is that you're presenting them with. It's not enough to, cast the vision of the company. The fact that Holton Buggs is the only CEO with his qualifications on planet Earth and his achievements in the space of network marketing, that's not enough. Like, he is the dopest CEO, in my humble opinion, in terms of his achievements and track record, what he brings to the table in our network marketing space. There's no other CEO that has his accomplishments. It's still not enough. What matters more than that is you. It's you. That's why you got to dig deep. Unlearning fears and embracing uncertainty requires a counterintuitive approach to life. Some of you are so comfortable right now living in your fear, living in your low expectation and limiting beliefs. Some of you are so comfortable right now rising up to the low expectations of others. Do you know that there are people who haven't made phone calls because they're so concerned about what somebody else might say, what somebody else might think? They're literally robbing themselves and their family of their dream life because of what someone else who doesn't care at all about their goals and dreams. Like, think about that. There are people who are hesitating to pick up the phone because they're like, what if they don't like it? What if they say it's a scam? What if they tell me no? And they're in the what if space in a negative way. They never pick up the phone. And this person was never going to do anything for them in the first place. This person they were about to call, they weren't going to help them live their dream life, build the income, and build the business in the first place. They were hesitating. That's crazy, right? That's a scary thought. Some skills, like calculating risks or seizing opportunities, are developmental and habitual. Almost like innate athletic ability or musical prowess, practice makes for perfection. That's my line. The more risks you take, the easier it becomes. Seizing opportunities becomes second nature. Defying odds and looking foolish will become default settings. I love to look foolish. I love to fall on my face. I love failing. That's how I get to success. I love when I call people and they hang up on me. I love that because I know where I'm going. I know the outcome. Ladies and gentlemen, if 98% of the population has a certain way of thinking and a certain mentality that is diametrically opposite of the 2% of the population, who are basically running the majority of the economy, we are all in this space thinking like 2%ers. What does that mean? It means the majority of conversations and people that we come across are going to have a 98% mentality. Why would I be surprised? It's not that I'm putting out the energy of negative expectation. That's not what I'm talking about. But I understand that the majority of people that I'm having a conversation with are not going to be on my level. It doesn't mean that they can't get to my level. It doesn't mean that there are some people that I call that will be on a higher level than me. I'm going to enroll those people. But the majority of people, they're not going to be there. Some of them are going to want to change. They're going to want to make the transition from 98% to 2%. A lot of them are not. And I don't care. I just keep it moving. We're called to chase lions, look for opportunities in our problems and obstacles, and take risks to reach for God's best. Do you really think that God's best is sitting at home and waiting for the pandemic to pass? If somebody tells me I'm going to wait until this passes, I am so turned off. I have absolutely zero interest in speaking another word. I will politely end the conversation and move on to next person. Your thinking is so whack. Your thinking is so weak. Your thinking is nowhere near your creator's best. So spiritual maturity is seeing and seizing God-ordained opportunities. That's spiritual maturity. Second chapter, and then we're gonna wrap this up. How much happier you would be, how much more of you there would be if the hammer of a higher God could smash your small cosmos. How much happier you would be, how much more of you there would be if the hammer of a higher God could smash your small cosmos. You know, I don't know, you know, if you have been guilty of submerging yourself into small thinking, into low expectations. You've been focusing on what you think you can get, not what you really want, as Bob Proctor would say. What you think you can get, not what you really truly want. Because when you confront what you really truly want in your heart, it scares the shit out of you. It scares you. And rather than reach for God's best, you shrink. You shrink. You bring it down. I want to be Sapphire, but let me just focus on director. Let me just focus on senior director, because you're allowing your limited thinking to get in the way of God's unlimited power. That's, woo, this book blows my mind. All right, so Benaiah, who was in the lion pit, he did what lion chasers do. He defied the odds. He didn't focus on his disadvantages. Sandra could call me, okay? Our newest Ruby, Sandra, could call me and say, hey, Ed, I live in South Africa and, you know, there's no relief and people are at home and the economy sucks. And, you know, I just don't see how this is going to work. She has every right to focus on her disadvantages. Those are all facts. But that's not God's best. That's not God's best. You can't transform your life, and you cannot transform somebody else's life if you are being defined by your current circumstances. Be ye not conformed to the ways of this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Meaning, I don't define myself by my current circumstances. Her engine is being driven by the vision. People are saying yes to her. People are saying yes to other leaders that are coming up in her organization. Why? Because she's leading with vision. She's leading with faith. Faith, the evidence of things hoped for, the substance of things not seen. She saw it long before it happened. That's strength. I will follow strength all day long. That's the power of it. He didn't make excuses. He didn't try to avoid situations where the odds were against him. Lion chasers know God is bigger and more powerful than any problem they face in this world. They thrive in the toughest circumstances because they know that impossible odds set the stage for amazing miracles. That gives me chills. Like right now, I have chills. He didn't focus on his disadvantages. He didn't make excuses. He didn't try to avoid situations where the odds were against him. Lion chasers know God is bigger and more powerful than any problem they face in this world. They thrive in the toughest circumstances because they know the impossible odds set the stage for amazing miracles. Your story is being created right now. Your story is being created right now. The faster you create your story, something that no one will ever be able to take away from you, the faster you're going to help somebody else create theirs. And the faster you help somebody else create theirs, that's how you become a history maker. That's how you become a record breaker. It's not about you. It is, but it's not. It's about you in the sense of what you exemplify. It's about you in the sense of what you embody every single day. But it's not about you if you're allowing your thoughts to run you instead of you running your thoughts. Your mind is the most powerful tool, the most powerful weapon that you have for your success. And if you allow your mind to run you, your mind's going to freak out in the midst of challenge. Your mind's going to punk out and wimp out in the midst of obstacles and fear and anxiety. But when you run your mind, I understand that there's some fear and anxiety, but it doesn't run me. If you don't have fear and doubt and anxiety, you can't have courage. Courage doesn't exist without those things. But when you're running your mind, you make a conscious choice to live in courage, to live in faith, to live in your vision. One of the most exhilarating things in the world is doing something that no one thinks you can do. See, I know that fires Larisha up. It keeps her up at night. She's so fiery. She understands that people are looking at her from the outside in and saying, I don't know how she's going to do it. She's got so many things on her plate. I know that fires her up. God tells Gideon to discharge anyone who is afraid, and Gideon loses 2/3 of his army. So he's talking about the battle. So Gideon's army of 32,000 men is vastly outnumbered by the Midianites, okay? So God says, get rid of anybody who's afraid. Gideon loses 2/3 of his army. He's now down to 10,000. So he goes from a formidable army to 1/3. But because he got rid of all the fear people and the weak people, they crushed it. They crushed it. You all know the movie 300. You know about the Spartans and what they were able to do because they had 300 warriors. You don't need a lot of people. You only need a handful of warriors. Too often our prayers revolve around asking God to reduce the odds in our lives. We want everything in our favor, but maybe God wants to stack the odds against us so we can experience a miracle of divine proportions. Look, what has transpired thus far, what we've all seen with our own naked eyes, in terms of leaders and ranks being popped, incomes going through the roof. Those are miracles happening. That's not supposed to happen, especially now. It's not supposed to happen, but it is. It is. Somebody has to stand up and believe. When you decide that you're going to be that person that's going to stand up and believe, watch the miracles happen in your business and in your life. As Jim Rohn says, don't wish it were easy or wish you were better. Okay, this is good. You are a byproduct of your God picture. And that internal picture of God determines how you see everything else. Most of our problems are not circumstantial. Most of our problems are perceptual. Perception is reality. Perception becomes reality. If people are not looking at you like you're a little delusional by the way you talk because you perceive opportunity. When I told you all when the pandemic hit, I looked at Nadia, I said, babe, ooh, I'm excited because we get to find out what we're made of. We get to find out, are we truly walking the talk? She looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what are you talking about? This is horrible. I was like, you don't understand, babe. We're going to find out who we are. Our biggest problems can be traced back to an inadequate understanding of who God is. Our problems seem really big because our God seems really small. In fact, we reduce God to the size of our biggest problem. Tozer said, a low view of God is the cause of 100 lesser evils, but a person with a high view of God is relieved of 10,000 temporal problems. See, when I'm talking to someone and they make it clear to me they're a person of faith, they could be this or that or whatever religion, but they you know, some people, they lead with that. If you go to their Facebook page, they'll say, I'm a believer of this or believer of that. I love having business conversations with those people because when it comes to business, when it comes to producing, when it comes to creating results, it's a different conversation. Now, all of a sudden, this faith that they're practicing, it disappears in the midst of challenges in business. And then I get stuff like, well, maybe God doesn't want this for me. Really? I'm like, yo, your God is really small. That sounds like a punk out kind of God to me. That's not my God. Like, I'm sorry that your God is so small and so weak that your God punks out and gives you an excuse as soon as it gets hard. I love having those conversations. And trust and believe, there's some people that don't like having those conversations with me. There's some of those people that don't want to talk to me anymore, and I'm okay with that. It's just not my belief. I don't have a small, tiny, wimpy God that punks out whenever things get difficult or when it appears that the circumstances are bigger than my conclusion. Perception is reality. No. I'm like, okay, all right, God, you want me to dig deeper. You need me to reach higher. So he says, now God says that is about the distance between your thoughts and our thoughts. So your best thought, okay? Your best thought about God on your best day is going to fall 12.3 billion light years short of how great God really is. We underestimate God's goodness and greatness by at least 12.3 billion light years. The more we grow, the bigger God should get, and the bigger God gets, the smaller our lions will become. Okay, God is great not just because nothing is too big, but also because nothing is too small. So to the infinite, all finites are equal. There's no big or small, easy or difficult, possible or impossible. Just meaning and understanding that's a constant power source. So here's what I'm taking away from this, okay? Here's what I'm taking away. When you look at the size of your life, the size of your vision, the scope of what it is that you're pursuing and what you're going after. Again, I want each of you, whatever your belief system is, whatever your power source is, you may be watching this recording and you're an atheist. You still got to believe in something. So maybe you just believe in yourself. That's fine. You might have a whole different sect. I don't care. I want to know how you feel about your power source. And are you reaching for the best? Are you ascending to that which is far greater than where you are right now? We all have been blessed with incredible opportunity to show the world who we are, to show the world our belief system by how we move, to show the world how we're going to lead by example. It's how we talk, how we position ourselves, and how we connect, and not allowing people off the hook with their weak excuses. I have choices every day to follow strength or to follow weakness. Because I choose to follow strength, I can recognize weakness like that. But I give weakness an opportunity to step up and to change and to choose to follow strength. I give everybody an equal opportunity to partner with me when I'm calling my prospects. I want to pull the best. I want to make sure that people are looking in the mirror and having that crucial conversation with themselves. Am I really going after what I want, or am I only reaching for what I think I can get? It's the power of the mind, the most powerful weapon at your disposal to create the life that you want. I know for a fact that there's not one brand new sapphire, brand new ruby, brand new emerald, brand new diamond. There's not one who has any more or less capacity than any of you. I am 100% certain about that. Are you? Do you really believe? Not just say you believe, but you really believe, and you're willing to walk, and you're going around the bend. You cannot see physically around the bend on the road. You can't see that far, but you can envision it because you've put it in your success GPS. You can envision it because you've taken the recognition, you've put your picture, and you've set your success destination in your GPS, and now it's all around you. And that's the certainty that you move in. Here's what I can tell you. If you move from that space and you move with certainty, watch what happens in your business. Watch what happens in your volume. Watch what happens in your ranks. Watch how many more people you can help to create their freedom as well. This is a magical time for us. I pray that we don't have to go through something like this again, but I'm so grateful that we're here now because there's just so many lessons that we've all been able to learn. And I want to take full advantage. I want all of us to be able to look back on this time in our lives and say, yeah, I was there and I played full out. I was there and I left it all on the field. I was there and I gave it everything that I had because I believed. Have an awesome and amazing rest of your successful and soulful Sunday. Thanks so much for taking the time to honor your dreams and your goals and your commitment to your greatness. Let's keep making it do what it do. So much love and appreciation for each and every one of you all. See you next week.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed. Everybody, bye-bye.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
Take flight, yeah, first class.